my 7000 was set up for a 3-thread overlock, and I'm going to show you how to change over quickly to a 4-thread overlock. So I've selected the 4-thread overlock, and on the colour screen you can see that it's telling you all the settings that you need to do to the machine and the settings on the machine that are automatically set. So it's telling you that you need 2 needle positions, A and B. We had it on a 3-thread overlock, we're now on a 4-thread overlock, so let's put in the needle into position A. And I've put my needle into my needle holder, and I've put the flat flank of the needle at the back, and then you just line it up with the needle. It's already in there. Push it up, and you use your screwdriver to tighten that screw. I had pre-loosened it, so it was easy to put the needle in, and then you just tighten that in and take your needle out. So needle holder out. So the needles are positioned slightly, one is lower than the other one, and that is correct. So the one on the right is lower and the one on the left is higher. So that is correct if you were wondering about looking at the position of your needles. So I had already opened my cover door, and I had slid the lever over to the sewing mode, so there was no way that that machine could be accidentally sewn while I was working with the needles. So let's release the tension disc by raising the foot, and let's thread the loopers, and then we'll thread the needles. So I'm going to thread both loopers at the same time. So let's take the guide and show us which loopers we need to be. So it says to thread the loopers, the green path and the pinky red path. So let's do the green path first. And through the discs, the tension discs, catch the thread guide at the bottom, pull out quite a generous amount of extra thread, and put 1 centimetre of thread into the lower looper, the green path, and you can leave that there. Let's go ahead and thread the upper looper, which is the pink path. So catch the first guide through the tension discs, through the guide at the bottom, and again pull out a generous amount of thread, and let's put in 1 centimetre or 2 . So let's seal the loopers. So we're in threading mode. Turn the wheel on the side. They're snapped closed. Let's press the electronic button, so it's 1 step, and both loopers are threaded, which is so quick and easy. So let's go ahead and thread our needles. So I'm going to thread the left needle first in position A. That's the yellow thread path. So that's the thread on the end spindle. So let's take it through the first guide on the telescopic thread guide. Pick up the orange pathway, and let's take it into the middle guide on the first one. So remember, if you've got the fingers, it's going to be between the middle. And let's take it up. I like using my tweezers for this, and in the spiral guide it's the centre guide. And let's take it again behind to the centre guide, and don't forget to catch behind this guide beside the needles. And then you can use your needle threader so you put the thread across, take it down the shaft to the hole and push the thread through. Then I quite like catching it with the tweezers, so it's quick and easy. And then I'll go ahead and thread up the other needle, and then come back and show you how to set up the machine for sewing. So we've taken the threads to the back for the needles and the loopers. We've slid the lever from the threading to the sewing position, and we've also have the lever for the upper looper in position A, as we have the cutter table A on as well, and that's all set up for the 4-thread overlock, and that information is on the screen on tab 1. So you can see you've got the cutter table A, you've got your cutter engaged, and you've got your upper looper engaged because you've got the lever over on A, you've got your pressure foot on N for neutral, and you've got your stitch finger on N so that it isn't rolling. So let's now close the door. And let's go back to our stitch information. Just so you can see, I store my scissors and my tweezers on the top. That's the design for those storage of those tools. And let's go back to the stitching out the 4-thread overlock. So let's lower the presser foot. And let's have a look at that stitch. So that's sewed quite a nice 4-thread overlock, and it was easy to change over using the electronic one-touch air threading loopers.